record, and here we
Yo,
go.
yo, what's up, y'all? It's King DMC in the place to be. I got one thing to say. The only place for you to be, because I know a lot about places to be, is rocking and rolling and hipping and hopping and not stopping with Primal Scream and Nick Graystone. Rah! Yo, yo, what's up, y'all? It's King
That's
DMC
awesome. You know what? I never get to play that. Thanks, DMC. That's right. Listen to the man. I am Nick Graystone, and welcome to another episode of Primal Scream and Shout. What's going on? I hope everyone's having a great day. Today was awesome out. It was very nice. You know, Mother Nature in the last couple of weeks is definitely having the menopause. It's messed up. It's either 90 degrees, 1,000 degrees, or 30 degrees.
Yeah.
So definitely, whatever. Just roll with it and take the sunny days and whatever. You know, it's all good. So. I got a special guest in the studio tonight. It's actually a return guest, the lucky number 2 for Miss Gina Falk. How you doing, Gina?
I'm doing good. Well, thanks for having me. You know, you never invite a vampire in.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you never leave, right? I learned that long ago. Bela Lugosi, I guess I never learned my lesson, but that's cool.
Yeah.
I made sure I put on the an extra layer of garlic tonight. You never know, because I
am tough to resist.
Right? Oh, see, so you're you're double deadly because you love the garlic then. So I was asking Gina before here when she was coming on if she's into true crime, and she really doesn't follow it. But I just have to give a little update, and then I'm gonna put all my attention onto Gina, and we're going to talk cool stuff. But I just wanted to talk about this update that I just got from TMZ about an hour ago. Right now, there is a big crime scene going on about 15 minutes east of Nancy Guthrie's home. So that's the whole missing woman from Savannah, her daughter, Savannah Guthrie. This lady's been missing for about 2 months now, and there's a possibility that they found human remains for about 15 minutes from the home of Nancy Guthrie, and they're bringing people out there to see if it's actually her. I don't know. I smelt a rat long ago with this case, and you know what's crazy? Like, I'm in a true crime chat with my shout out to the Cats Out of the Bag girls. They have me on their podcast, and we talk about this stuff. You know, I know all the players in this game. Like, I could tell you who's who, but I couldn't tell you for the life of me, if Nancy Guthrie passed me on the street, what this fucking woman looks like. They're not, like, showing who she is and, like, putting it out there and, like, you know, with the ransom note and, like, all this shit that's going on and, like, what... I don't get it. It's crazy. I don't even think we're ever going to find out what truly happened to Nancy, because I feel like the more money you make, the more way you could get yourself out of the situation, because, you know, money talks and that bullshit game definitely walks. Mm-hmm. So I just want to give you an update on that. I'm sure I'll be following it and, you know, post it on my socials and everything, but... That is your true crime update from the ArmChair Detective tonight. So, no more stories of the killer stuff and the true crime stuff. Except there's one other thing. Asa Ellerop right now, I heard, that's Rex Heuermann's wife, the convicted right now Gilgo killer. She is putting up stuff from her house now on sale on Murderpedia. And supposedly they're putting the door to his kill room up for sale. So the psychos that have the deep pockets, I'm sure are going to be bidding on that stuff.
Ew.
Pretty creepy. I don't know. Maybe I'd buy a mug or something, you know, just to have. But I don't think I would ever drop mad money on that crazy stuff. But I'm not above anybody, but what you're into, But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that is what's going on. So, all right, Gina, what is up? What's going on?
Well, lots of stuff going on. First of all, we got into this amazing book I know everybody knows Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Carl Palmer put up a post that said, you know, if you want to write a piece about the band, your experience with the band, you know, send us an email and we'll think about putting it in. Well, you know, I got in the book. I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you've been a fan forever, right?
I love this band. You know, it's just one of the classic rock bands that three guys made a hell of a lot of noise. You know, it was just awesome.
Kind of reminds me of my band. We're a trio, but I'm not going to talk about my band. Same shameless self-promotion. But yeah, that's, you know what, if you're a fan and you write something passionate enough for them to get on their radar, and not only for them to like post it, but to actually put it in print. That's like
it's
the
huge.
Ultimate.
It is. It's huge. I love it.
That's amazing. So like, what was the piece that you wrote about?
Well, when I saw them in concert, I think one of the things, first of all, Greg Lake's voice, Jesus Christ, that guy's voice was incredible. You know, but then to see Keith Emerson lay on the ground with the piano on top of him and play it upside down and backwards, I think that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Honestly, in concert. And that's what I wrote about.
You saw them a bunch of times, right?
Westbury was where I saw them.
See, going to see stuff at Westbury Music Fair, like, is so awesome,
Because
right?
you're so close.
There's not a bad seat in the house. Honestly, like, I think the best acoustics in any venue in New York, I really can't speak for outside of New York. I mean, I've been to a bunch of other places, but, you know, Radio City is known for their acoustics and everything. But you know what? Westbury gives them a run for their money, and it's not even, I don't know, a quarter of the size.
Right.
Did
you ever see Jason Bonham's band there?
No.
Nothing like hearing Led Zeppelin in that small...
I'm sure.
Oh, my
You know who I did see, though? I saw Whitesnake there. So Coverdale was doing the Purple stuff.
Okay.
So, like, it was like a whole half a set of Deep Purple cuts that he did. And actually, you know what? It wasn't Whitesnake. It was Coverdale solo, and he was doing Whitesnake.
Okay.
And he was doing the Deep Purple stuff. And holy shit, I was like, literally, how we're sitting, that's how close I was.
Yeah.
So, like, he was there. And, like, you know, another show that I saw there, which wasn't a rock show, but I saw George Carlin there.
Ooh.
And it was the same thing. And I'm watching George do his thing, who's arguably the greatest of all time, I feel. I would love one more show from him, especially now. But he's out there, and he's just doing his thing, and I'm just mesmerized watching him because it's actually like he's looking into my eyes and saying shit that's like only that George Carlin can do.
Yeah.
You know? But, yeah, I was supposed to see the Stray Cats there last year, and I ended up getting like second row, and Brian Setzer canceled because of like health or whatever, and they rescheduled it, but it's the same weekend as Monster Mania, so and I'm a guest there, so I don't want to miss it, but I've never seen the Stray Cats, so like it's kind of like the story of my life, you know, you got to pick and choose or whatever. But
do you remember Kaplan Pontiac over in Montauk?
No.
It's where Sun is.
Okay.
Yeah, some family members owned that place at one point, and the Stray Cats actually came in there and bought a car one day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the Pontiac. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you meant it was a club.
No.
Oh, no. I know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it's like the wrought iron gates and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It looks like a cool, like a serious operation going on in there.
It's a cool place.
Yeah, no, it looks gothic and everything. It's like right up our alley. Oh, that's pretty cool. So you got some awards that you brought in here, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, you know, the screenplay, Second Chances, we entered a couple of film festivals, you know, and it won this one, which was like 5 different categories. So it was like the best of, you know, screenplay, best, you know, writer, all this. Then this year we got, out of nowhere, this Lifetime Achievement Award here. Okay, and they come with the little charms, you know, that are here. This one just came. This one is called a Global Icon Award. And it's all three of these are coming out of Bollywood, which is in India.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and there's another one literally in transit right now from the same company.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're like actually like Bollywood is really known for because I know about this because my friend is married to Sunny Leone and she's like one of the most downloaded and followed Bollywood actresses and stuff. So that's cool that you're overseas.
Overseas getting this stuff.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah. And this is the award right here?
Yeah, that's the global. Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool. It's congratulations. That's pretty amazing. Anytime anyone says that, you're an icon that's got to be some amazing honor,
I would think so. Even if it's coming from, where it's coming from, it's, it doesn't
international.
Matter. Yeah.
It's it doesn't matter. It's something to somebody that actually took the time to recognize you, and isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah. Second chances, and this is the one that's in the. You turned into a screenplay.
It was a screenplay, and then a film festival made it a book, and that's on Amazon.
Very cool.
So if you open it, it's actually written as a screenplay. It's not even written as a book.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So they just took the whole thing and just shoved it in a book cover, which is pretty wild. Yeah.
And you've been doing appearances for this too, right?
Yes.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to read you the back cover, kids. The hustle and bustle of New York City, the Big Apple. In an old rundown warehouse, Mark realizes something isn't right. He awakens in darkness and ponders as to where he is and why. Mark wants to be reunited with his family, but will learn that it is not as easy as it seems. With the help of his friend Paul, he will have to travel through the streets of New York City to find his way home. Along the way, Mark will learn a valuable lesson in life, appreciating what you have while it's there. Now, let me ask you something. The names in this, were you inspired by anybody, like with the first names or the character names? Or
no, I just wanted to come up with standard names because I think the time frame I was looking, late 70s, 80s kind of, time frame. So you're just going with common names for it. And this is a story about a man that loses his way, obviously. He's working constantly. He neglects his family. And he thinks, when the movie starts, the camera comes in through a broken window into a warehouse in Manhattan on the Hudson. And, you see all the broken stuff. And he realizes that, he's either dead or whatever. He's, not knowing where he is. And he goes through this whole... through the subways and, through packing district and all that to get back home. And he realizes at the end that the guy that's helping him is his guardian angel. He's not dead,
It's almost like It's a Wonderful Life type of
thing?
It's
almost like that, but it's written a little differently.
Edgier?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the fact
I love
that
it's... it's kind of like an, not afterworld, but like... An alternate world, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Does he like tell him it could have went this way if you made the choices in life?
Well, I don't think he doesn't tell him that so much, but he brings him through such a terrible way to get back that he realizes it himself. Like he starts to realize during that time when he's going through the subway, because they turn into inanimate objects.
Okay.
So, he's a rat going through this, the water in the subway. And, he's this at this time and this at that time. And through that process, he says, "Oh my God, what's going on here? Like, where am I? Why is this happening?" And he can't find his wife and his kids, and
the most important
things. So, he ends up waking up and realizing he's alive. And then he says, what was that? And then all of a sudden, the guy tells him, "This is where you are. This is what happened. And, I wanted you to see what you were doing wrong. Basically, if not, you would have been elsewhere."
It's a time-old tale. I mean, it really goes back to you really don't know what you have until it's gone. Or it's kind of like the grass ain't always greener on the other side. You got to live in the moment, you know. Some people, and I know this, like, they're always thinking about the next step rather than living in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, and life passes them by and they don't even realize it until it's too late.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's cool that it raises that, you know, that question or whatever. And I love that guardian angel stuff. I love like when no one can see that, you know, person or whatever, and they're trying to give you advice or something just to let you know, hey man, you know, life is good. Like, don't, you know, that's your only chance.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so that's cool. Were you inspired by anything like to write something?
I
like
actually
that,
was. There was a book by a doctor, Many Lives, Many Masters. And in that book, he was able to put a woman under hypnosis. And when she was under the hypnosis, she was able to very detailed tell him all the lives that she had lived. And, you know, some of them go back centuries, you know, and all the people in her immediate family now were always in her life through the time that she was here or there. And he talks about how, you know, this is just a vessel and your soul will go on, you know, for a certain time.
But those people turned different. They were different.
Right. So your sister could be your mother in your next life. Your brother could be your uncle, you know, that kind of thing.
It's almost like Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky. But it was such a good book. And there was a line at the end of the book that just got me. And I was just like, you know what? And I thought of this story and I said, I just got to go with it, you know?
Yeah. It's cool when you get inspired by something, even if it's, you know, just a line, and you could create a whole book or a screenplay out of it. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's how, you know, like I had a little spat where I didn't do music for 2 years. That's when my daughter was born. And I don't know, sitting around at work one day, a lot of downtime, and I was watching the Today Show or something, and they were having an interview with Courtney Love, of all people. And I have a love-hate relationship with her, but she said a word, and that word was destruction. And for some reason, destruction, because I'm, you know, I have a dark side to me that I always think like weird stuff or whatever. A light bulb went out, like it went on, and I was like, destruction.
Yeah.
Okay. And then now I used to write like on little pieces of paper and like little stickies and whatever, but this was like iPhone. So in my notes, I have probably about 12 years worth of lyrics that are just random notes. It could turn into a poem. It could turn into 2 lines. It could turn into like...
There you go. That's pretty cool.
So I wrote a song based off of destruction. Didn't even write destruction in the song, the word destruction, but I got inspired to write something. And what was funny is the timing of this. I had written this song. That same night, I was going to see Iron Maiden. We were just talking about them. I was going to see Iron Maiden with one of my best friends, who's actually my guitarist now in the Scar. And I was like, hey, dude, I wrote this. And, you know, he's a very quiet guy, very reserved or whatever. And he reads it. And I wasn't expecting a big, you know, whatever from him. And he was just like, well, yeah, it's cool, whatever, you know. And the next day, he sent me a riff.
Oh, God.
And he hadn't been playing in a long time either. We weren't even talking about writing music together or whatever. And he was just like, yo, I wrote this about like 6 months ago, and it's just been sitting around. And he's just like, maybe your lyrics can fit to this.
Yeah.
And we wrote basically our first EP through text messaging because, you know, we were in our lives now. I had a baby. You know, she was 6 months old. He just found out. Actually, no, Zoe was about a year and a half at that point. He had just found out that he had a little girl that was on the way, and I think he was going through something. And this was always our way to get our vent, you know, like get our stuff out. and it turned into the scar, and like we've been playing almost 10 years now. So like,
That's pretty
you just don't
awesome.
know where you get it from.
Yeah, wherever
know?
the inspiration comes from.
You just got to get it.
Yeah, you just got to go with it.
Might as well, strike it while it's hot, like when it is. And I've gone through those, it's the writer's block thing. You could go through it. You could get
I do.
uninspired, right?
Yeah.
Get uninspired really quick.
Yeah.
And then you're stuck and you're like, fuck, man, like,
Well,
gotta write something.
Yeah, well, I'm in the middle of writing a new screenplay.
Oh, yeah?
It's going to follow the Bride of Frankenstein the correct way. And, there's a part of it where I'm developing the character. And I was having, from like January through to now, I was having like a slump, like, where am I going to go with this,
Yeah.
And I finally figured it out, and I just can't wait to finish it so I can reveal it.
So, when you're saying the correct way, are you talking about how like Elizabeth was killed in the movie? Or
No,
are you
I'm
just
talking about basically running with Pretorius.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like more Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
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 Dr. Pretorius.
Yes.
I love that creepy old little
He
woman.
was awesome.
Yeah.
He was
the woman,
great.
like, she calls him out when she rolls up or whatever. To me, I love Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I actually just put up a print in my house yesterday. Tommy Spiro, shout out to Bauman Butcher. He always does conventions with us and stuff. He had a sick Bride and Frankenstein.
I think I saw those.
Yeah. They're very cool. So my friend was at Dark Force Fest, and I was like, "Yo, man, like, does Tommy have this Bride of Frankenstein print?" And he had it. So she ended up picking it up for me. But I always thought to myself, like, I love Frankenstein, the original,
But the
Bride
was
is
just
like
something.
money. Holy.
It was
just
awesome.
elevates it,
Yeah.
And it's very... So, I mean, to outdo the original Frankenstein is very tough, but
Yeah.
the Bride of Frankenstein is really great.
Yeah.
I even like the third one. What was it, Son of Frankenstein?
Yeah. I don't know.
It gets a little crazy, Obviously, as sequels go on, they get a little nutty, but I mean, I like part one. Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein. It's almost like Godfather 1 and 2.
Yeah. It just ran perfectly together.
It should be one movie.
Yeah.
Because it picks up right where it left off. You know? And oh my God, the music,
everything about it, it just was like perfection.
and it's only 80 minutes long.
Yeah.
It goes by in a blink of an eye. You know what? Like I hate shitting on things. Like I don't waste my time telling you the stuff that I don't like. I'm very passionate about telling you the stuff that I love.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I don't like are these movies that run 2.5 hours where
They're a waste.
it's so much fluff, like the new Mummy. Like I love the Mummy, the old one. It's not my favorite Hollywood monster. It actually could be my least favorite. But the new Mummy, it only takes off in the third act, and I'm like, why the fuck did you need to tell me like all this shit beforehand and like waste 2.5 hours of my time that I'm never gonna get back? Like, I don't know. Did you see the new Frankenstein?
I saw the Frankenstein.
You didn't like it?
I liked it.
Oh, it was cool, right?
It was really, really cool.
Like,
it was different.
There's, how you said, like, something that was said in that. There's something that I wrote. I do this. When I watch movies, if something is said during the movie, I'll always write it down because I'm like, wow, that's really amazing, like, the line. And what I found is... seeking life, I created death. Once lost, then I found a lifespan of love, internal tragedy, but it's better to fade with proud eyes upon me and let the heart will break as it brokenly lives on.
Yeah.
And fucking chills, man.
Yeah.
Talking about that, like, I love that. And, like, I thought that they did such an amazing job, like, and then I watched like the making of it and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that. That comes after it.
Yeah,
my daughter and I watched it together, and
great, right?
I was just like, oh my god.
Del Toro doesn't mess around. He makes good movies.
It was so good. It's worth seeing.
Absolutely, it's the Frankenstein with Jacob Elordi.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the new hot guy out there. All the girls are going crazy for him, but he ain't so hot in this movie. He's got the makeup on, and the kid really did a great job. The cinematography's great.
Yeah.
It runs a little bit long, but you know what? You're not bored with it.
No, not at all.
You know,
Not at all.
and it's cool. It tells you from the perspective of Dr. Frankenstein, and then it tells you from the perspective of the
him.
monster,
Yes.
which you really don't get to see in the other shit. You know,
Yeah.
you only see it a little bit, like when he's smoking the
Yeah.
with the dude in the
Drink,
shack.
smoke.
Good. Friend. At Chiller Theater last week or 2 weeks ago, Sarah Karloff was there, and she's such a sweetheart. I just walked up to her and I was just like, I gotta show you something. And I showed her my hand. And I was like, I got your pop on my hand for the rest of my life. And she's like, oh, that's lovely. She's probably thinking in the back of her head, all right, fucking weirdo, get away from me, And I was like, of course I gotta get the
bride.
The bride.
Yeah.
And it was just it was definitely a cool moment. Speaking of like the Universal monsters, like what was who's your favorite?
Well, I mean, Bela Lugosi.
Yeah.
I fell in love with him. I just think he's just perfect for the character.
Yeah.
You know?
Like you don't even think he's acting. Like it's
No, it's just so
real.
natural. You've seen all the other shows with him, like from the 50s,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's just him. They didn't give him fangs. He just his persona, just the way
Charm. I would have let him in.
I would have, yeah,
Right?
totally.
Absolutely.
Come on in.
Okay. Why not? Go ahead. Chill. What's up?
And that's what inspired me.
To write that?
This,
Okay.
yeah, he inspired me. So.
And this is Princess Gina's of Roznov, Romania.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool. It's the first in a 5-book series, all pre-drafted, waiting.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you're ready to roll with. So you said it's the first. So you have them all out now. This is
the only one that's out. The other ones are in draft form. So
you're ready to.
I'm ready to unleash.
You have to unleash the Kraken. Yeah, Bela Lugosi. Like I loved Ed Wood, the movie Ed Wood, like that was based on his life, and it was quirky and everything, but like I remember being so pissed off because I did not give it a chance at first when he won for Best Supporting Actor, Martin Landau, and he beat Samuel L. Jackson for Pulp Fiction. I was like, who the fuck do they think they are? Like Samuel L. Jackson all the way. But then maybe 10 years after it, I actually sat down and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch this. I fucking loved it. I'm like, he nailed it. It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was weird, but like that was a weird guy.
Yeah, he was strange, but anything he touched was like magic. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like highly underrated, and like typecasted too.
Yeah, but he always was in competition with Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
And
he actually curses.
Yeah, and Boris Karloff. Yeah.
It's like that limey cocksucker always gets my parts.
Yeah.
You had something you wanted to talk about Christopher Lee, right?
Oh God, Christopher Lee. I mean, how could you not talk about him?
Right.
First of all, he did James Bond. He was Scaramanga, right? Then he did Metal Hammer magazine. He did a whole thing with Tony Iommi, where he sang songs with him, And then he did a Christmas album. He said, come on, it was awesome.
It sounds like a man of many hats.
I just loved, he was horrifying.
Absolutely.
Some
no
of
those,
matter
like
what
Draculas,
he did. Yeah.
like back in like the Hammer films and stuff. Scary.
Yeah, he was.
That's a totally different type of scary, like Skivat scary. Christopher Lee also, kids, you might not know this, but Christopher Lee was highly sought to play Dr. Loomis in Halloween.
Ooh.
And he turned it down. And he always said that he regretted turning it down.
Yeah, he would have been good.
Yeah, he would have been. But also, Dr. Loomis is Donald Pleasance. And look at, Donald Pleasance did not want to do it. And the only reason that he did it is because he needed a car. So he was like, did it for the payday. And look what it turned him into. He became, I mean, Donald Pleasance at that point was a character actor. He was well versed in everything, and he
did
other
Columbo
things.
and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. But then he did this, and he got into a relationship then with John Carpenter, who, you know, brought him back in for Escape from New York.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, this is just a whole nother cult level of iconism for him, you know?
Yeah, huge career out of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, so that would have been, you know, I think about that all the time. Like, had we gotten Halloween with Christopher Lee, like, what it would have been.
Yeah.
You know, like how he would have did it, how he would have delivered the lines. Like,
well, I mean, look at the way he did it in James Bond,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, he was spooky, you know? I don't know if it would have been the same.
Like, you
you would have
look at
thought
him
he
and
was
you-
the crazy one, you know?
yeah, you always like, absolutely. As the movies went on with Dr. Loomis, you're like, who's more nuts, like him or Michael Myers? Like, he's totally obsessed with him and, like, you know, looking into like the evil part of it and stuff. And he, you know, by the last movie that he's in, he's totally batshit crazy.
Yeah.
He's chasing him for years, so obviously, you know, tries to kill him with every method. Mm-hmm. But I could just picture Christopher Lee being, you know, doing the whole dark eye, you know, the devil's eyes monologue that he does. He could kill it. It would be spine tingling.
It would have been more scary than it was.
I think
and
so.
I thought Halloween was scary. So.
Yeah, no, man. You know, absolutely. One of the scariest movies. And you know what? Halloween is one of those movies where it's driven by the score. Mm-hmm. It's a perfect marriage. Halloween was not picked up by all the distributors because once they put it out, no one wanted it because there was no music to it. So it was kind of like half done.
Yeah.
But then when John Carpenter put the music to it, then, you know, thankfully Mustafa Akkad found it.
And it was just one, you know, it was just
Yeah,
one note.
It's one pattern,
Yeah.
you know? And he that was one time I absolutely loved. I was at a convention and John Carpenter was doing a Q&A and he was like, it's the simplest earwig that you could ever hear in your life, you know? And it was just, you know, think about those things like the classic horror scores, Halloween, Psycho, Jaws. They're all the same, different chords, but the progression, it's only like, you know, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's crazy.
And I just watched Jaws like a night ago.
Yeah.
And it was uncut. And it was the first time in a very long time I saw the whole thing through.
Straight through?
Yeah. Because they always cut the two scenes, you know?
Yeah.
But you see the movie, and I was just like, I was gripped by it because, you know, filmmaking now looks nothing like that.
No.
That was real, you know? You could feel the emotion. You could, you know, you could feel like the love and the hate and the scared and all that stuff. And I love that about a movie.
And you feel like you're actually sitting on the beach.
Yeah,
with
you
them.
feel like you're
in
with
the
them.
water.
Yeah.
You know, like,
You know, you're under the you're under the water. You're seeing the shark coming. You know, it just that whole movie was done
it's a masterpiece.
so perfectly.
And it was a fucking nightmare to film.
Yeah,
You know, Steven Spielberg hated it so much that, like, he took off before the movie even ended. He was like, I don't give a fuck. I just want to get off this island because it went way beyond
yeah.
you know, filming, way over budget.
yeah.
They thought it was going to be a bomb. And he
turned out to be perfect.
Yeah. The last thing he was doing, he was like, call me the water taxi to get me off this fucking boat because they were ready to blow the shark up at the end of the movie. He's like, I don't even give a shit. Like, just put this to bed right now. Like, get me home.
Yeah.
And he said he wasn't even there when they blew it up. He was like off of Martha's Vineyard.
If you want to see something really cool, there is a play.
The Shark.
The Shark. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. The Shark
About
is
all the
broken.
things that went wrong
Yeah.
during the filming.
You saw
of
it?
I didn't, but I keep hearing rave reviews from
Fantastic.
everybody I trust.
I did. I saw it. I saw it like I saw it twice. I saw it off Broadway and I saw it on Broadway. And on Broadway, it's written by Robert Shaw's son, Ian Shaw. So Ian Shaw plays the role of Quint. Mm-hmm. And it shows you the downtime that they have during the filming of the scenes on the Orca. So it's kind of like they're constantly waiting around. waiting for the shark to work, and the shark is always broken, and you hear like always over the radio, and like they do funny shit. They'll like make references because it's supposedly taking place during the 70s, and he was like, "Yeah, Roy, don't worry about it. We'll see you on the sequel." And he's like, "Jaws 2? Are you kidding me?" He goes, "We're never going to get past this one." And he goes, "Over my dead body, you'll never see me in another Jaws movie." And of course, he was the only one that came back.
It's so funny, though, because there's certain parts of that movie, like, I'm like, oh, this is part number 1 I love. Part number 2. But when he tells that story on the orca, that is, like, probably the most perfect moment. Because he made the whole damn thing up.
He did.
And it was perfect.
They talk about, like, that's what the play really revolves around, him trying to nail that scene. And at that point, Robert Shaw in his life was a raging alcoholic. He had just lost his wife. You know, he's fucking heartbroken. So it's like he's drinking all the time on set or whatever. Showed up, did his thing professionally, but in the middle of it all, Roy Scheider was in the middle of him and Richard Dreyfuss. They fucking hated each other.
I know. You could see it. You could see
that's
the anger.
That's not acting. That's
no,
really
that's real.
them.
Yeah.
And he would, you know, years later, he didn't last too long after that, Robert Shaw. He died, I think, maybe like 2 or 3 years after it. But he said, you know, I knew that Richard Dreyfuss was a great actor, but I wanted him to get the best out of him, and I pushed him to the limit. And you see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Because he grabs him at one point by the shirt and he pushes him, and I'm like, "Whoa! Look at the face on him! Like he's pissed."
They're definitely pissed, you know. And that's great filmmaking.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. It's just, it's every bit about it.
You know, it's cool too. You see, I never picked this up, but it came out last year, and they were talking about it. Pippet, the dog, he lived.
Yeah.
If you see the scene where Chief Brody is running down the bridge to go get Michael when he's attacked in the estuary, you see Pippet hanging on the bridge, and he's just in the background or whatever. And I've seen this movie 1,000 times. Never picked it up, and I'm like, holy shit, I always thought that the dog died.
So did I.
Right? But he lived. Pippet lived, you know? That's a crazy scene even, you know? Like, they show also... Originally, they wanted to do like this whole graphic scene with Alex Kittner getting eaten, and again, the shark wouldn't work. It worked, but it didn't look right. It looked so fake, and they're like, "We got to change it." Yeah. I think by the shark not working, and you only see the shark about an hour into the movie, keeps the suspense.
Yes,
the music again drives it.
Yeah,
because anytime you hear that shit, you're like,
"Oh,
he's here." Yeah, the shark's here.
I was a kid at the time. I didn't want to get out of my bed. No. I'm like, I was scared to death of this movie.
My parents were in Hawaii when it came out, and it was raining. So they went to go see it in Hawaii with my 5-year-old. My brother was 5 years old at the time. Vacation was over. Bless you, brother.
Always 3.
You got him. So, he was done. They were done. They wouldn't go back into the water. My brother, I think, had a problem shitting because he thought that the shark was going to come out of the toilet and bite his ass. And, like, you know, it just, no good.
Yeah.
It's still, you know, like, for me, it's lasting. You go on the beach.
You think about it.
You're thinking about Jaws.
You're thinking, you know, he's out there.
And I feel like it's one of those movies, it's the torch passer. Generations and generations to come. Universal really has to get back on their game with Jaws because they totally took Jaws out of Universal Studios in Florida. Harry Potter's the moneymaker, we know that.
Yeah.
But Jaws put Universal on the map for the summer blockbuster. They treat Jaws like a dick. Like, you go through now, I think it's in San Francisco, and they have him hanging. You know what? Like, you don't have to be a shark enthusiast or whatever. Fucking Jaws never went to San Francisco. How dare you put him out of his element?
Yeah.
Make a little fucking Amity Island and hang him in there and give us the fucking ride back.
Yeah, give us something, right?
Poor Jaws. That's like, it almost sound like the end of the Incredible Hulk. Oh, man. So, I wanted to ask you also, I saw you posted something about the Svengoolie video.
Oh, yeah.
So what was that all about?
Well, a couple of years ago, he put out this thing where he wanted to add some people to the team.
Yeah.
You know, so he's got Gwen Gooley and Imp and, you know, the scary one. And I tried out for that. And I did a video, and it got put on TV.
That's cool.
Which was so cool. You know, that video you saw the other day, I think it was just the straight video, but I actually had one where he put on TV, and it had his little clips and goofy stuff in the middle of it. It was so awesome.
Svengoolie is a staple. You know, like
He's
is just one of
amazing.
those horror hosts and everything, and like, yeah, I mean, it's so cool. They just brought him back too, so now like you get to see like some stuff that's, you know, the movies, those B movies, the staples of life. You know, for me, for the horror.
Well, now I think their show is actually, you know, pretty good also, because like every month they give them like one night that they can do it.
Yeah.
And they put on 80s movies, like the really cool 80s
good
movies.
ones.
Yeah. So that's
absolutely.
pretty awesome.
And they, you know, I grew up with that stuff. You know, you got Svengoolie, you had Joe Bob Briggs, Rhonda Shear, Elvira, Up All Night on USA. You know, like those are, you know, that was the time to live, like during that, because they would show at that point the 70s horror and then the current ones, you know, and like it was so cool. That's where, you know, that's where I learned some
really
love
cool
of horror.
movies, yeah.
Absolutely. I can't tell you how many times I watched like Sleepaway Camp on like that on that station or whatever. It was cut. It was years later where I actually saw like the uncut version with the ding dong at the end of the movie. But another movie? What a way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I was a kid, you know, Chiller Theater would come on.
Yeah, with
And the hand coming up,
Yeah.
you know. They used to play the greatest movies, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Chiller Theater still has like a convention now. And up until a couple of years ago, Zachary the Ghoul, you know, he was still doing them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they'd have him in the corner or whatever hanging out. And like, that's a horror icon to me, you know? I always kick myself. Like, I met Elvira, but it was after she retired doing the makeup and stuff. And, you know, she, again, you know, she was just one of those icons of horror where she made it cool, you know? It was like our queen, our mistress of the dark. Cassandra Peterson. Love Cassandra Peterson. She's awesome. I was so excited, too. This New Jersey Horror Con that I'm going to be doing in a couple of weeks. Rhonda Shear was supposed to be there, but she ended up canceling. She's going to come in September, but I never met her, and I always wanted to. I just want to say thank you, you know, growing up or whatever. And I met Joe Bob Briggs a couple of times. He actually does he did a plug for me. I don't even know if I have it somewhere on there, but it's all right. I'll show it next time. DMC got it tonight, so maybe next week we'll dig up the old Joe Bob Briggs. So, Gina, do you have anything you want to plug for upcoming appearances? Or?
Well, first of all, Creative Cosplay. They do a magazine. I've been in the magazine a few times, and honestly, it's a great magazine because I did plug the book in a big spread once. But they're doing their first awards, and I'm up for Best Film-Inspired Cosplay Award.
There you go. Congratulations. Wow, you're racking these awards. You got to get Huppy to build you a shelf.
Right?
Absolutely. You got to have your. These are all my awards. My award room. Very cool. My trophy room.
Yeah, there you go.
Very
But
cool.
if you go on my website, GLF Creations, I have an event page. I'm going to be pretty much everywhere. I'm doing 3 Barnes & Nobles. I'm doing June 13th in Huntington. October, I'm doing Carl Place and Lake Grove. Those are probably going to be the 2 Saturdays before Halloween.
Okay.
I'm doing Books and Mortar in Mount Sinai on the 10th of October, which is cool. She's going to decorate the whole store.
Nice.
So, yeah, pretty excited about those. And then, obviously, we're doing Cradle of Aviation. We're doing Eternal Con. We're doing Tropicon. We're doing the Extravacon. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But and then the mini sci-fi con.
Okay.
At the Levittown Hall.
Cool.
So,
Oh yeah. I remember you put me in contact with them and something like it was like a scheduling thing. I couldn't do it. Yeah, we're busy. It's the busy time coming up.
Yeah.
It's con season.
Yeah.
It's in full swing. So it's my favorite. I grew up going to cons. My parents took me to my first one at Fangoria Weekend of Horrors back when I was like 10 years old, and I've been going ever since. And now, being on the other side of the table, it's just like full circle. And I get to do it with my kids. So
that's
it's just
cool.
like a whole
well, my daughter
cool
comes.
experience.
Yeah, my daughter comes with me to all the Comic-Cons and book signings. She's graduating next week from college. Oh, can't wait.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, she's digital artist, which is really cool.
Very good.
Got to get her a job in the field, so moving along.
I'm sure she helps you with your stuff too, right?
Oh, she did the piece on the back of this, so she did the dragon on here.
See, the apple does not fall far from the tree, kids. Or the vampire does not fly too far from the castle. The little vampiress.
Yes.
Awesome.
But yeah, she did. She actually pre-did all the backs of 4 of the books. She's going to work on the last one soon, but they're all done and ready.
Isn't it awesome when your kids thrive and like you just sit back and you watch what you created?
Yeah, what you create. Yeah.
And now she's creating for you, and it's just like, yeah, I can't tell you, man. Like watching my kid grow and coming into her own or whatever. Mm-hmm. Her new thing now is I took her to go see Michael Jackson, the movie.
How was the movie?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it. It didn't talk about the bad shit. It talked from him up until bad. And then they're going to do the second part of his life, which was, the bad stuff that, they're going to put in there, I'm sure, or whatever. But it showed the talent that he had, and it's impeccable. There was only one king of pop.
Yeah.
And she loves the tunes. When that's what it's all about for me, like... she does a great impersonation. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. It's so funny. So shout out to Zozo. She
Yeah,
makes me
you got to
laugh
post
every
them so I
day.
could see it.
Yeah, I tried to get it today, but she was not. She
Feeling it.
wasn't having it. So, all right. Yeah, I want to do a couple of shout outs, and we'll put this episode to bed. I want to thank Ira again, man. Thank you, man. You're doing a great job. Tony's on the mend. He's actually coming back tomorrow, so make sure you kiddies check in. Our champion is returning to his throne to do his Knock 'em Dead comedy show tomorrow morning. So call him, bust his balls. Just don't hit the face, baby. Keep that eye going, man, But all right, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Beery's. That's one of my sponsors. Not many more months left, kids. They're closing down in February of 27, but they're still going. There's always something going on over there. Monday night's Monday Okie. Tuesday night's Vinyl Night. You bring your favorite vinyl, pick a side, they'll play it for you. Wednesday is Video Game Night. You get to challenge your friend to a game of Pitfall or Tetris or whatever game system that they have up. Tonight, Thursday night, is Open Mic Night, sponsored by Murphy's Music. You go there, sign up, sing a song. Tomorrow night, I'm actually going to be in his house. The Full Blast Movement is coming in. Proceeds for every ticket purchased at the door are going to mental health prevention and suicide awareness. Mental health awareness, suicide prevention. Very two things that mean the world to me. So Young Z from The Outsiders is headlining, and I'm going to be doing my solo stuff. The stuff that I don't do with the Scar, it's the hip-hop and the alternative. So, that's going to be tomorrow night. And on the 9th is going to be Rusty Raisin. And June 13th, the return of Aunt Jackie's Bush. We were used to be Death Proof. But then we turned into Planet Terror. Then we were once Norman and Masturbates. Then we were the Sternobums. And now we are Aunt Jackie's Bush. And I like that name so much that I'm keeping it for now. We're going to be playing with Bloody Sabbath. That's the Black Sabbath tribute. And that's for our friend, the Iron Maiden chick, Renee. She used to bartend at Beery's. I believe now she's at the finish line. It's going to be her birthday. we're going to have a good night that night. That's June 13th. And then on the 8th of August, The Scar. We just rebranded. We were Demon Scar. Now we're The Scar. I have a thing about changing names. I don't know, man. I just can't keep one identity. I got to keep you motherfuckers on your toes. We're going to be back at Beery's. We're going to be playing the mixed metal night hosted by Mistress. Love her. She's got a cool radio show. She's got 4 bands that night. The Scar is kicking it off. That's going to be a great event. I'd also like to thank my other sponsor, Cinema Arts Center. There's a couple of cool events coming up there. This weekend, SLC Punk, one of my favorite movies, is going to be playing there. And on the 13th, Ralph Macchio is going to be in his house.
Ooh.
They're doing 2 showings of The Karate Kid, and he's going to be doing a special Q&A. A couple of conventions that I got coming up, like I mentioned before, New Jersey Horror Con, the weekend of May 29th to the 31st. We got Peter Criss, Lita Ford, the original Toxic Avenger reunion, 3 guys who played Leatherface, Friday the 13th Part 2 reunion. My friends Marcus Sublime and the Stream Kids are going to be there. And, of course, yours truly, Nick Graystone and Zoe Graystone are going to be there, as well as my friends, the Plantain Twins. I love them. The little girls that are in Then Came a Rainbow. Coming up, that movie's just being finished right now and going to be out pretty soon. I saw a teaser that's going to be released pretty soon, and I can't wait to show that to you guys. Also, filming for Awake in the Dark is going to be happening in 2 weeks, where me and Zozo return again. We're going to be in that movie with the Plantain Twins and Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp and Lou Temple from The Devil's Rejects. July 17th to the 19th in Tampa, we're doing SharkCon. We're going to be promoting The Shark That Roared. That is our 40th anniversary documentary about Jaws the Revenge, where the shark actually roars. Kevin Smith picked it up. He's going to be producing it for us. He's an executive producer. He's actually going to release it for us. And we are going to be down there with Mario Van Peebles, me, and Mike Giancarelli, who's the director. And, of course, Mario's going to be there. We're going to be promoting this. Obviously, Mario is a very decorated actor. He's going to be having all the stuff. So come down, hang out. The following week is the dead of winter in Worcester, Massachusetts. I'm going to be there with Marcus again, Mike Levy, Mark Haynes. Those are the dudes from Stream. Primal Scream alumnus, Lydia Manson, who's a great friend of mine as well. She's going to be there. See? She always says, "Oh, I wish I was part of the cool kids." Girl, you are one of the cool kids because you got added as a guest and you're going to be there. And Terry Alexander from Day of the Dead is going to be there. And I'm almost out of breath, but this is the last one. Monster Mania, where I have so many great memories. I'm getting to share a table with one of my best friends in life, the House of Monsters, Chris Ott. Thanks, dude, for giving me a corner. And I'm going to be there, and it's going to be a great lineup. They just added like 4 people from the original Hellraiser. Doug Bradley, Ashley Lawrence, the dude who played Uncle Frank. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And one other person the other day. I forget who it was. I'm sorry. Check that out. Malcolm McDowell's going to be there. Jonathan Breck, who is the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. And they're starting to bring back Robin Englund and Heather Langenkamp, of course, from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. So that's going to be a great event, and they're only getting started. So check that out. Also, check out my good friend Salem. She has a YouTube channel. I'm going to drop the link in here. Sorry, I don't know the link off the top of my head, but she has a very cool trailer right now for an upcoming movie that she just put together. Totally do-it-yourself type of horror. That's where it's at right now. Independence. The independent film craze right now is doing awesome. So, again, check out Salem's YouTube channel, and I'm going to drop that link for you. Kids, I want to thank Gina for coming down. Thank you so much, Gina. It was awesome. Again, I'm Nick Graystone, and you're not. I'll see you next time.
By Tony Walker and executive produced by Demon Scar. Always remember, nobody writes your story but you. Later.